Harry Maguire with a stooping header that forced Tim Krul into a fine save, clipping it over his own crossbar. Ronaldo also had a left-footed shot that was well saved by the stopper. 0-0. At half-time, it is Norwich 0, Manchester United 0. A 45 minutes that has offered very little in terms of goal-mouth action. Norwich have created some half chances. Lucas Rupp has looked bright in the final third. Timu Pukki has been found in the box but just hasn't been able to get those shots away. As for United, their best chance probably came just on the stroke of half-time. Harry Maguire with a stooping header that forced Tim Krul into a fine save, clipping it over his own crossbar. Ronaldo also had a left-footed shot that was well saved by the stopper. 0-0. At half-time, it is Norwich 0, Manchester United 0. A 45 minutes that has offered very little in terms of goal-mouth action. Norwich have created some half chances. Lucas Rupp has looked bright in the final third. Timu Pukki has been found in the box but just hasn't been able to get those shots away. As for United, their best chance probably came just on the stroke of half-time. Harry Maguire with a stooping header that forced Tim Krul into a fine save, clipping it over his own crossbar. Ronaldo also had a left-footed shot that was well saved by the stopper. 0-0. At half-time, it is Norwich 0, Manchester United 0. A 45 minutes that has offered very little in terms of goal-mouth action. Norwich have created some half chances. Lucas Rupp has looked bright in the final third. Timu Pukki has been found in the box but just hasn't been able to get those shots away. As for United, their best chance probably came just on the stroke of half-time. Harry Maguire with a stooping header that forced Tim Krul into a fine save, clipping it over his own crossbar. Ronaldo also had a left-footed shot that was well saved by the stopper. 0-0. At half-time, it is Norwich 0, Manchester United 0. A 45 minutes that has offered very little in terms of goal-mouth action. Norwich have created some half chances. Lucas Rupp has looked bright in the final third. Timu Pukki has been found in the box but just hasn't been able to get those shots away. As for United, their best chance probably came just on the stroke of half-time. Harry Maguire with a stooping header that forced Tim Krul into a fine save, clipping it over his own crossbar. Ronaldo also had a left-footed shot that was well saved by the stopper. 0-0. At half-time, it is Norwich 0, Manchester United 0. A 45 minutes that has offered very little in terms of goal-mouth action. Norwich have created some half chances. Lucas Rupp has looked bright in the final third. Timu Pukki has been found in the box but just hasn't been able to get those shots away. As for United, their best chance probably came just on the stroke of half-time. Harry Maguire with a stooping header that forced Tim Krul into a fine save, clipping it over his own crossbar. Ronaldo also had a left-footed shot that was well saved by the stopper. 0-0. At half-time, it is Norwich 0, Manchester United 0. A 45 minutes that has offered very little in terms of goal-mouth action. Norwich have created some half chances. Lucas Rupp has looked bright in the final third. Timu Pukki has been found in the box but just hasn't been able to get those shots away. As for United, their best chance probably came just on the stroke of half-time. Harry Maguire with a stooping header that forced Tim Krul into a fine save, clipping it over his own crossbar. Ronaldo also had a left-footed shot that was well saved by the stopper. 0-0. At half-time, it is Norwich 0, Manchester United 0. A 45 minutes that has offered very little in terms of goal-mouth action. Norwich have created some half chances. Lucas Rupp has looked bright in the final third. Timu Pukki has been found in the box but just hasn't been able to get those shots away. As for United, their best chance probably came just on the stroke of half-time. Harry Maguire with a stooping header that forced Tim Krul into a fine save, clipping it over his own crossbar. Ronaldo also had a left-footed shot that was well saved by the stopper. 0-0. At half-time, it is Norwich 0, Manchester United 0. A 45 minutes that has offered very little in terms of goal-mouth action. Norwich have created some half chances. Lucas Rupp has looked bright in the final third. Timu Pukki has been found in the box but just hasn't been able to get those shots away. As for United, their best chance probably came just on the stroke of half-time. Harry Maguire with a stooping header that forced Tim Krul into a fine save, clipping it over his own crossbar. Ronaldo also had a left-footed shot that was well saved by the stopper. 0-0. At half-time, it is Norwich 0, Manchester United 0. A 45 minutes that has offered very little in terms of goal-mouth action. Norwich have created some half chances. Lucas Rupp has looked bright in the final third. Timu Pukki has been found in the box but just hasn't been able to get those shots away. As for United, their best chance probably came just on the stroke of half-time. Harry Maguire with a stooping header that forced Tim Krul into a fine save, clipping it over his own crossbar. Ronaldo also had a left-footed shot that was well saved by the stopper. 0-0. We're about to get back underway for the second half of this final Premier League game on Saturday. It will be the visitors, Manchester United, to get the ball rolling. Shooting from right to left in this second period. 0-0 with very few chances really to report on from that opening 45 minutes. Man United making a very laboured start to the game. They did seem to grow into it, although certainly not at the levels you would expect of them, especially against the Norwich side who started this round of fixtures at the bottom of the table and are very much scrapping for their lives and expected to be throughout the campaign. Dean Smith and Craig Shakespeare, the focus of our pitches in these opening stages, as Manchester United's kick-off has gone straight out into touch for a Norwich throw, and improvement needed for the Red Devils.
Yeah, didn't put enough pressure on the home side. I think this is a Norwich City side who will buckle under pressure. If sustained pressure is put on their defence, then we'll see mistakes that would lead to very good chances. Manchester United need to be a bit more front foot in the second half. I think more longer balls into the front players, more backing up play from the midfielders running on, and just better execution really for Manchester United.
No changes for either side at half-time. Norwich were forced into one in the first half. Captain Grant Hanley going off with youngster Sorensen coming on in his place and slotting into defence alongside Kabak. Out on the right-hand side at the moment then with Dallow. He's squared up by Giannoulis. Does get the cross away, headed out by that man mentioned, Sorensen. Tomine tries the volley back at goal. It cannons off a Norwich player and then cleared away up to Pukki, who controls really well under pressure from Lindelof. Now shows physicality as well to hold the United defender at bay. Lovely ball infield to pick out Rupp, and he's got Norwich into a good area of the field. Sprayed right-hand side, although behind Aarons. And he will start to try and build down that flank. 1-2 with Placheta. The ball will come back to the pole, and he might think about a shot. Chops onto his right foot beyond Maguire and on target, but straight at De Gea.
Yeah, nice skill in a one-on-one situation with Maguire there. He's beaten him easily, really. One little move onto his left foot. I think Maguire's expecting him to maybe have a shot there. He's chopped back onto his right side. He is very left-footed though, and he stubbed his shot into the ground, which was no problem for De Gea.
United then back on the front foot with the two Portuguese, Ronaldo and Fernandes. Back to former Real forward Ronaldo, and Fernandes lays it off for Fred. Sancho caught with the ball in his feet and was almost robbed of possession by McLean, but United do manage to recover it. Works it through to McTominay, who arrows the ball to the left-hand side nicely into the path of Fernandes. Low cross in the box intended for Rashford. Norwich are able to get a foot in and clear, but Fred leaps nicely to head back down. Norwich then punt it further away, and Maguire with Pukki lurking goes back to the halfway line.
United have played more long balls in 2.5 minutes of the second half than they did in the entire first half, and it's working. They forced Norwich back. This is definitely, I'm sure, what was said at half-time by Rangnick. Get on that front foot, play longer balls, switches of play, keep the passing, to put pressure on the Norwich defence.
Norwich maybe will need to be a little bit more switched on in this second period to deal with it. Sancho now comes to the right-hand side. 1-2 with Dallow, but that return pass was overhit. The move breaks down. Norwich will get us back underway from a goal kick. Ralph Rangnick has come out decked out in a baseball cap in the second half as well.
German Tony Pulis.
He is, as I say, full club shop on tonight. I wonder if he's got the white shoes as well that Pulis used today. Has he? Got the white trainers, right? Okay, very good. Clearly a fan of the Welshman. Maybe hoping his side can go and achieve something tonight with certainly a better start in this second half. A goal kick to come here from Krul. It's flicked on by McLean. Sargent returns it to the Scot, and over the top of the United defence. De Gea will come. Needed to get there ahead of Pukki. The yellow winter ball that we're playing with now, bowled out to Maguire. Fred dropping in to offer up his services. Dropped off by Sancho, who finding himself more and more central in this second half. Fernandes then back into Fred. Opened up a bit of space right-hand side for Dallow, but pass wasn't good enough. And then the foul will allow Norwich the chance to breathe for a moment. Giannoulis was the man on the receiving end of the tackle from Bruno Fernandes.
It's a good foul by Bruno Fernandes. His fullback's way out of position. Fred underhit the pass. Dallow was caught upfield. Giannoulis was running to space. Bruno Fernandes makes a cynical foul which stops that counter-attack in its tracks.
Seems as though he has escaped a booking as well. There was certainly a discussion between himself and Darren England, the referee, but no card dished out. We're yet to see yellow shown in the game thus far. Manchester United have seen all of the sides above them in the table that have been in action today pick up results. Man City, Arsenal, Liverpool, Chelsea getting wins, so need to come up with something tonight to make sure that they don't drift further away. Move here on the edge of the box has just fallen apart and goes through to Tim Krul. It's around them still to play this weekend. The likes of West Ham, Tottenham of course won't be in action with their game postponed, so that is a bonus of sorts maybe. As Lindelof puts one into touch now for a throw-in just ahead of Aarons, who was looking to make a bit of ground down the right-hand side. In fact, rather it was Placheta, the pole with the ponytail. And Aarons is going to take that resulting throw. Placheta and McLean both show, and it's laid back off to Aarons. Now Gilmour trying to find Pukki, but they weren't on the same wavelength. Pukki had made the run in behind, and Gilmour had played it he thought was going to be into feet. No one home, and United now over the halfway line with Fernandes. Ronaldo has pulled wide of him. And he will be found. Rashford the only option in the middle. Sancho starting to creep in there as well. Fred from range. He's going to take a deflection. Might spin away and behind for the corner, and that's what Fernandes is hoping. And it will be a set piece.
Yeah, got no problem with Fred having a crack from there, really. United have been far too just overcomplicating things on the edge of the penalty area. Against the packed defence, sometimes you just need to have a shot and, you know, basically get some sort of end product from an attack.
Corner to come in, an in-swinger from Fernandes to the far post. Krul punches one fist, and Rupp goes to pick up the loose ball under pressure from Fred, but it's Rupp who sort of comes out on top. He eventually wins his side of throw-in, having made a couple of yards down that left-hand side. And Norwich deal with that moment of defensive responsibility reasonably well. Throw to be taken by Giannoulis. He's been heavily involved for Norwich. The Greek cuts inside a challenge here, then runs into McTominay. He's gone down, and Darren England is going to come across. He's given the free kick. He was quick to let McTominay know that there was nothing else going there. He might even be suggesting that there's not even going to be a free kick, but Giannoulis doesn't care at the moment. He's down in quite a bit of pain.
Yeah, you know what? I think he's won the ball. Is it possibly? I don't know. I mean, I'm not sure what he's blown up for there, to be honest. McTominay wins the ball. There's no foul I don't see on Giannoulis, do you?
No, I think it was fair. He seemed to get the ball, and Giannoulis' momentum almost took him through into McTominay, which the United player could do there, having won it cleanly.
He looks serious, though, for the Greek. He's still down, receiving some sort of manipulation around his neck muscles there.
Dean Smith with almost a shrug of the shoulders there as he was walking around his technical area, and now a big sigh from the former Aston Villa boss. Things just not quite panning out for them at the moment. He is back up, Giannoulis. We just see him emerging into the shot there in front of Dean Smith. There's a player who got up off the bench for Norwich to go out and warm up, maybe thinking that they might be invited back on, invited into the play rather, as the camera focuses in on Sorensen, who is a player introduced in the first half of the injured Grant Hanley. Will be forced into a second change, but things looking positive enough as Ronaldo finds Fernandes. Now for Rashford. If he stayed on side here, there's a good chance set to open up. That's a great challenge though from Kabak to turn the ball away. It might have gone for a corner, but offside. The flag potentially up, is it?
Yeah, flag's up for offside. Took an age to come up, didn't it? I think Rashford, he's just half a body in front of Kabak, who was really labouring to get back in, but he did actually make a good challenge on Rashford in the end from the wrong side, but he got the ball, so he didn't know it was offside as well. He just had to do some defending, and he did pretty well.
Manchester United winless in their last 4 league matches against newly promoted sides, and making a real fist of things tonight in trying to overcome the newly promoted team in Norwich City. Tim Krul with the free kick that resulted from Rashford's offside. They had the right idea, I think. He went around the back of Kabak to then try and step onside and catch the defender out, thinking that his pace would put him in a good position, but the pass maybe just came that split second too early for him. Hasn't been that much open space really for United to try and expose tonight with the pace of Rashford. Ronaldo not quite got the injection of pace that Rashford does. Be looking to the bench before long for someone like Mason Greenwood, who has found himself amongst the goals of late, to come and try and offer a bit more of support in that final third. Back at the moment at the feet of Tim Krul as the rain sprinkles down at Carrow Road. And Norwich send it long over the top looking for Pukki, but that is comfortably dealt with by Harry Maguire. Bounces then in the centre circle, and out comes Kabak to beat Rashford to it. Cheta, an awkward looking ball infield. It came off the head of Rupp, then laid back to him by Pukki, and Norwich have managed to get a bit more control over possession with Aarons. A barrier of a leg laid down by Telles to prevent it going through to Placheta. He's now back alongside Aarons, but he's going to be ignored as Aarons crosses for the box. It's headed away as far as Rupp. Now Pukki trying to get the shot away, and it's a great save from De Gea.
Yeah, United very fortunate to survive there. They were a bit short-handed on the edge of the box as the ball came back into Pukki, and yeah, just not really getting close enough to Norwich in midfield. Pukki on his left foot has driven that one towards the top corner, taking a great save from De Gea. That is a fantastic save. It's going in the top corner. He's at full stretch, gets a fingertip to it, pushes it over the bar.
Fingernails, isn't it, in the end? It is so slight, but at the pace it was moving, it didn't require much to help it on its way. Corner then sent onto the edge of the 6-yard box, and United get that first header away and the second, but there'll be a free kick to come back for, as Alex Telles has stayed down, clutching the back of his head. So United survive this time around.
Yeah, Norwich are still offering a threat, aren't they? You know, that's a set piece. Sorensen was coming in at the far post. He was fouling, taking a bit of a ride on Telles's back as he tried to go up for that header. But yeah, I mean, you know, Norwich is still very much in this game, and they're creating chances, they're creating danger.
Down the line now for Ronaldo. His first touch was heavy. It was taken up then by the man down that right-hand side, and Sorensen, who had stepped out of defence. Gilmour and Fred come together, and it's going to be a free kick to Norwich, despite the fact that Gilmour was straight back up to his feet, and Fred is the man who's come off worst. He's just feeling his mouth, and maybe was landed on by Gilmour in the process of making that challenge. Ronaldo has just come across, I think, to drag Fred back up to his feet.
Yeah, he does right there, Ronaldo. You know, United need every second they can get in this game, and it seems like one or two players have forgotten that, you know, they are still at 0-0. They're playing very casually, and they're playing like, you know, they're already winning 3-0 in this game. Still
early-ish stages of the first half, yet to hit the hour mark, as Pukki is just into the United box, forced wide right, low ball in. Maguire will turn it away, and that will hit the corner flag, and just about goes for the corner kick. It had come back into play and then spun off the side of the pitch as a couple of players chased on after it. And Norwich fans down at that end of the stadium are rising to their feet.
So they should. That the team are playing very well, and I think they've found some soft areas in Manchester United's system here where they can exploit.
Cross comes in at the near post, glanced on, and then headed on to the bar. It's over. There's appeals that it had taken a touch on its way through. Sorensen, the substitute, with the effort.
Scrambling at a set piece, flicked on by Sargent. There's no way that Sargent should be allowed to get that header in. Bruno Fernandes is 10 yards off him when he gets that flick on. He should be much closer to challenge that initial flick on, and it just causes danger for Manchester United. Eventually, with the pressure on Sorensen, it goes over the bar.
Corner from the opposite side this time around. Maguire heads it up. It's going to go behind again. Norwich remain on the front foot. United with questions to answer. Maguire barking out the orders to his teammates. He was under pressure there. It wasn't any issue for him to get ahead on it. It was just the direction that wasn't quite where he wanted it to be. Placheta is going to deliver this time around then. Movement in the box once more, and this time Rashford heads away at the near post. Gilmour promotes it back into the box. Sargent stumbles on the ball, loses it, and there McLean comes on after it. Is he going to win another corner? He should. And Norwich still on the front foot. Yeah,
Bruno Fernandes not defending well from that corner again. He's let his man go initially, and then when he tries to get in to make a challenge, it's powder puff stuff in his own penalty area, and Norwich won another corner. That ball should have been cleared. The man should have been picked up. I think it was Sargent that Bruno Fernandes was marking there, and he's just not doing a good job defensively at the moment.
Fifth corner of this second half for Norwich. An hour has just ticked over on the clock. then it goes to the hands of De Gea. That is relief to the travelling United fans, and the players can begin a break. Ronaldo out to Sancho. He's got a little bit of space to charge into. Now players starting to square up against him. A couple in Placheta and Gilmour showing good energy to get back and stunt the counter. Back out to Sancho though, who now is one-on-one with Rupp. Laid off to Rashford, who will drill it, and it's into the side netting. He claims with a deflection. I don't think the decision is going to go his way.
No, hard to say from first glance. It would have been a very faint touch from a Norwich defender, if anything at all. As we look at it now, no, I don't think there was. But the keeper was worried, wasn't it? It was a powerful shot, low to the near post, and Tim Krul was forced into the dive. Maybe Rashford was claiming that he got the touch.
Sargent forward for Norwich now, coming across the edge of the box, shot blocked by the diving legs of Scott McTominay, and out to the left-hand side with Giannoulis, who's going to loop around on an overlap. He's ignored. Instead, it's whipped into the chest of Pukki, who, falling forwards, couldn't bring it firmly under his control. And now Rashford tries to break out, but two Norwich players will get there. Rashford flicks it away from the feet of Gilmour. He's been seen to have fouled the Chelsea loanee. And Norwich will have the free kick on the halfway line. Maniak started the game sat on the bench, but has crept up to the touchline as this second half has unfolded, getting a better view of what's panning out in front of him. And as you said before, right at the start of proceedings, an unchanged 11 today for this Premier League match from that win over Crystal Palace. Another chance for his players to go out there and show him what they're all about, but might be tempted into changes next time around. Although, as we say that, here's Rashford, edge of the box, maybe a shooting chance. He's going to lay it off for Ronaldo. He'll have to square it for Fernandes, and it just didn't anyone seem to have confidence in getting a shot away, really, when Rashford was maybe well placed for it. They are still on the front foot. Rashford wide on the right, into Sancho. Dalot has gone up ahead of them, but Gilmour gets a foot in, and McTominay comes back. The ball bounces up into the evening sky, onto the chest of Giannoulis, and they will play their way out of trouble, Norwich, with Sargent. Well, he's been held up by Dalot. The American will win it back. Norwich can calm things down a little bit.
Yeah, it looked good for Rashford to maybe cut in and have a shot with his left foot. Didn't trust it, and in the end he's passed on responsibility of Ronaldo. I don't think the pass was quite where Ronaldo wanted it, and there was a defender in his way, so he then tried to play in Bruno Fernandes, and Norwich just, survived basically because they got bodies behind the ball, and United were all passing on the responsibility to each other.
Well, at the time of the game where you would think managers will be looking to their benches, just 63 minutes on the clock. Options for United tonight: Bailey, Elanga, Greenwood, Heaton, Henderson, Jones, Lingard, Shaw and Van der Beek. The bench for Norwich somewhat depleted tonight by illness, with Byram, Campbell, Dowell, Gunn, Ida, Lees-Melu, Mumba and Tompkinson for Dean Smith to select from. So far doesn't seem to be any movement down there, but we'll see if that changes in the next few moments. Maybe it will be United who look to change things first, with Norwich having already made one substitution in the first half. Here they are, the Canaries, on the ball now, working it across out to the right-hand side with Aarons. Placheta, they backheel down the line, but not sympathetic enough. It's got away from Rupp and off the side of the field. Norwich happy to sit back in a shape as United take that throw unchallenged. Worked across centrally to Lindelof. Ball was a little bit slow for Sancho, and the time move there was all a little bit lackluster from the Red Devils. Giannoulis has been able to retrieve it for the hosts, and into Kabak. Gilmour in a pocket of space midway through his own half, allowed to turn on it, and now assessing the options up the field. One of them is Rupp. He leaves it for Aarons. Rupp has gone further down that line, wasn't tracked by a midfielder, so Maguire has to step out of defence to come across. And it's gone off the side of the field, and will be a United throw, to the frustration of Rupp, and we are going to see Greenwood come on.
Yeah, and I mean, I think it's going to be Marcus Rashford coming off. He's had a fairly poor game, to be honest, and doesn't look like he's got the confidence to go for goal. And as a striker of one of two strikers out there, it's just playing with a man down almost. I know he's offered something on the counter attack and he's got the pace, but I think you know, Greenwood, as long as he runs around a bit and presses a little bit more than Rashford's done, he'll have done a better job than him. It's just bizarre to see Rashford playing so in his shell at the moment. You know, we know what a good player he can be, but it's been a while now since he's had a really good game.
McTominay flick over the head of Rupp and gets himself out to the left-hand side with Telles back through for Fred. Telles in a little bit of space on the left once more. Norwich's shape is proving tough for United to crack at the moment. See, Greenwood is now ready to be introduced at the next break in play. United will hope that break comes off the back of a goal for them as they continue to try and build through the field. Ronaldo's ball back into Sancho. Fred across to McTominay. There's space on the right-hand side if they spot it with Dalot. At the moment they're all very central, almost with the blinkers on. Sancho coming across to the left-hand side instead with Telles. Sancho back through to McTominay. Two on the edge of the box, but they're playing a more patient game, United. Trying to drag Norwich side to side. Really biting. Rashford will take matters into his own hands. Into the box, tries to find Ronaldo, but too many bodies back there for Norwich that can deal with it. And now Rupp under pressure from two. Fred comes across to meet it. There's going to be a Norwich free kick here. A little bit too over-aggressive United as they try to win it back. And we are going to see that change now made.
Sancho coming off though, isn't it, I think?
Yeah, looks as though it is the number 25 to depart. So Jadon Sancho, who I suppose a little bit like Rashford, hasn't had a huge impact on the game either.
No, maybe this is Rashford moving into his position and Greenwood going up front with Ronaldo. I don't think he'll change the formation. He may well do, but yeah, I'll be interested to see what Ralph Rangnick makes of this now. Is he going to go with Rashford still down the centre, so maybe Greenwood's going to play off the front now.
Did score against Young Boys last time out, got an assist in Rangnick's first Premier League game, that victory over Crystal Palace as United won 1-0. Came off the bench in that one and was then rewarded possibly with a start against Young Boys, although it was a game where changes were always likely to be made anyway, with the way that the Champions League group was set up going into that final round of fixtures.
I think what Rangnick will enjoy work. I mean, he's already mentioned him a couple of times by name in press conferences when unprompted. I think what he'll enjoy with Greenwood is the chance to change habits early on in his career. A lot of these United players, you know, it's going to be hard to change the habits. Obviously, Ronaldo is 36. The ball's played up to him now. You know, he's not going to be turned into a pressing monster, is he, in a space of a few weeks? But someone like Greenwood, you know, he could, you know, it could really work well with him to get someone like Rangnick, get hold of him at such an early age and turn him into a completely different player.
Norwich with a counter-attack here, and it's Pukki looking across to the right-hand side with Placheta. The ball was a little bit too big, so he's been forced wide, but players can now emerge in the box, and the cross is too close to De Gea. Keeper takes it cleanly. Midway through this second half then, still nothing to separate these two sides as Giannoulis does well to hold off Mason Greenwood. Norwich 0, Manchester United 0. Side will take you to full time.
Yeah, Norwich moving it down the left-hand side with Sargent. Goes back to Giannoulis, and Norwich happy to just to play the ball back. Ronaldo comes to offer a press as it goes back to Giannoulis down the line. It's headed back by Dalot, and then like maybe a foul there by Rashford on McLean, which is going to be given as a free kick to Norwich on the halfway line. Cantwell's going to come on here for the Canaries, so obviously he's just come back from injury and isn't fit for the start, but he's going to get 24 to maybe 22 plus minutes to try and change this game. Looks like it's going to be Placheta to come off.
Yeah, he's one of the players, Cantwell, who didn't really have a look in at the start of the season, seemed to fall out of favour with Daniel Farke, but expected to get more game time under Dean Smith. There were reports that he was trying to sign him at Aston Villa, so clearly an admirer. A chance for him to come on and try and influence things. It'll keep those United players honest. Fresh legs in the final third on his day can be a match winner. He's got creativity and lots to offer. A bit of an issue at the moment seemingly going on with Lindelof. Looked as though he was put into his chest there, and he's doubled over at the moment. Fred's actually signalling that he needs to come off here. If he's just hyperventilating a little bit there, but he doesn't look in a good state. Yeah, it looks to be a chest problem.
Yeah, and the medics are going to check him out, so there's a bit of concern around Lindelof at the moment, but he seems to be okay on the face of it. but there is a delay to proceedings here as he is checked over. Back on his feet now. Maybe got a blow to the rib, something like that, but we'll make absolutely sure he's okay to continue before deciding what to do here with Lindelof. Now De Gea's talking to him, so this is a chance for maybe Rangnick to get some influence to his players, but none of them seem to be heading over to the touchline. They're all more concerned about Lindelof's health there. Yeah,
I think a few of the players seem to be suggesting that he should really consider what he's doing here rather than just trying to be brave and bite down on it and carry on. He does look very much out of breath. I mean, we are 70 minutes into a Premier League match here, so you'd expect a player to be a little bit fatigued or whatever it might be, but initially the signal from Fred was he needs to come straight off. The medical team now having assessed him a little bit, I think they are considering keeping him on out there.
So Eric Bailey's on the bench. You mentioned Phil Jones before. Jones hasn't played a game of any form, I think, even under 23s football for about 2 years, so I'll be interested to see if he came on. Tellez knocks it back to Fred back across to McTominay. United deep in their own half at the moment. Now McTominay carries it into Norwich territory, slips it into Greenwood's feet. First time live he was caught there by Gilmore. Referee says play on as United switch it out to the left hand side. Rashford keeps it in with a brilliant first touch and now takes on the fullback, running outside Aarons, who gets a challenge in and knocks it behind for a corner. So 20 minutes to go, big 20 minutes there for Manchester United if they want to take all 3 points from this fixture. Lindelof still undergoing some assessment on the sidelines, and I don't think he's going to be all right to carry on here. Bailey's come across to see what's going on here, and there's a bit of a delay on the bench about making Lindelof's heading to the dressing rooms there, so they're going to have to make a change, but there's nobody ready to come on.
No, they're going to be down to 10 men for a little bit. Bruno Fernandes is trying to halt things here and say you need to make a substitution, but there's no one ready, as you say.
Here comes the corner then from Bruno Fernandes. Maguire and Ronaldo trying to make some space at the back post. In comes the delivery, headed clear by Norwich at the near post. Drops to Fred, who's gone back into that back four or into a defensive position to help United there without Lindelof. Cross goes into the penalty area. It's headed away by Norwich. Maguire still up there, will retrieve. Knocks it back to McTominay. He goes with a cross towards the back post. Here comes Bruno Fernandes, who scoops the header wide. Ronaldo thinks there was a foul in the box earlier than that, but the referee has given...
He's given a penalty.
He's given a penalty. There must have been a hold on Ronaldo. Wow, did not see that when the cross came in from McTominay, but he's given a penalty here. Ronaldo was dragged down by Aarons before the header from Bruno Fernandes, and the penalty's been awarded to Manchester United.
Silly, isn't it? The ball wasn't even reaching Ronaldo, and I think Aarons has panicked, hasn't he? He's seen the cross coming in. He's thinking, I've got to do something here, and desperately has put an arm around the neck of Ronaldo. He has dragged him to the floor. I think they're going to just double check this one to make sure that the referee's call is right, and we'll get another view at it now.
The only thing they could probably call this one out for is maybe if there's an infringement elsewhere, like an offside in the build-up or another foul, but don't see how they could reverse that decision. It does look like the penalty's been confirmed, and Cristiano Ronaldo is about to take it now. Tim Krul has a brilliant record at saving penalties. I think he saved 2 in a game against Manchester United about 2-3 seasons ago when Marcus Rashford was on spot kick. So this could not be scripted better, really, for the Norwich goalkeeper Krul, who's got the captain's armband on. He's trying to delay, he's trying to gesticulate, getting the crowd involved now. Ronaldo trying to stay ice cool as he gets ready to take this penalty kick. Krul bouncing up and down on the line. It's been a day of penalties in the Premier League, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Winning penalty for Manchester City, winning penalty for Liverpool, winning penalties for Chelsea. Can Ronaldo make it 4 out of 4 in terms of the favourites winning these games? Krul stands in his way. Referee has stopped everybody encroaching and now gets ready to blow the whistle. Ronaldo, pretty straight run up. He'll move across to his left-hand side and then hit it right-footed. There goes the whistle. Ronaldo steps up, does hit it, and it's in the back of the net. Ronaldo with the goal puts Manchester United into the lead. They scored that goal with 10 men on the pitch. Norwich 0, Manchester United 1.
Yeah, it's a really well taken penalty, as you'd expect from Ronaldo. We saw it earlier, didn't we, with Mo Salah, goalkeepers trying to play mind games, trying to put these attackers off, but they're so calm, they're so assured in their own abilities that that's not really going to have much of an impact. He hits it so firmly across the left-hand side. Tim Krul with absolutely no chance of keeping that one out, and Manchester United finally break the deadlock in this one. Krul, like Martinez earlier in that Liverpool game, was pointing as to where he thought the ball might go. It goes the opposite way, and Cristiano Ronaldo has United ahead.
Yeah, we're just seeing the foul again. He's got hold of Ronaldo's neck. Ronaldo is falling backwards. I think he's made the most of it, but he doesn't go down too theatrically that he wouldn't get the penalty. We see some players go down so theatrically, and Ronaldo's made that look a little bit more than it was, I still think. Yeah,
there's grappling going on. The arm is up there from Aarons. I think when you put yourself in that position, you then can't complain if a penalty is given against you or if a foul is given against you.
So Rupp has gone off. Lucas Rupp replaced by Pierre-Lise Milou with 15 to go. Milou, a central midfielder, so a like-for-like change there as Norwich have the ball. Knocking it forward to McLean, picked off by Fred. Norwich just got to stay firm in these next few minutes now, not give anything away. Lise Milou gets his first touch, finds Gilmour, plays it forward. Dalot quickly in there on Sargent. It goes out for a throw. Eric Bailly is on. So that change was made, I think, after the goal was scored. And he's replaced the unfortunate Lindelof, who's probably still being assessed in the dugout. There's a foul here by Dalot and a yellow card coming out for the Portuguese defender as well. It's his second challenge on Sargent in the space of a few seconds. And this one gets the caution.
Yeah, I think you do two in quick succession. You've got to expect that the referee's going to have to dip into his pocket. He's just dived in, hasn't he, really? When he didn't need to. Sargent using his body there to try and roll around the outside and get down the line. And Dalot steps in and puts himself now on a tightrope.
Not good defending, is it? Here comes the set piece sent into the Manchester United. Good header and a brilliant save from De Gea. It was Ozan Kabak with a header. He got above Harry Maguire, brilliant header down, and fantastic one-handed right-handed save from David De Gea to keep out that powerful header from Kabak.
Two big saves he's made now today, isn't it? He's made a few this season. He's had his critics, De Gea, but at times he's been the match winner for the Red Devils and might well have just salvaged all 3 points for them today with that strong right palm. Gets down really well and manages to slap it away.
Still, ball goes into the penalty area for Norwich. Knock it back to the edge of the box. Here comes an outside the boot shot from Lise Milou, which comes off the wrong part of the boot as far as he's concerned. It goes high into the crowd. But yeah, I mean, Manchester United living very dangerously, and aerial ball into the penalty area, all given away from that stupid free kick from Dalot. You know, they've got to sharpen up Manchester United.
Yeah, they really have. I think Norwich are going to throw the kitchen sink at them now, aren't they?
Yeah.
They created some chances already in this second half before they'd fallen a goal behind. They'd had some success. Now they're really going to go all guns blazing. They've got nothing left to lose.
Yeah, probably fueled by a sense of injustice from that penalty award as Aarons plays the ball off Rashford. It's come back off Aarons, though. United have the throw in front of a packed house at Carrow Road. Norwich entering this plays the ball off Rashford. December period, bottom of the Premier League, playing a team who at the start of the season, a packed house at Carrow Road. Norwich entering, but they've fallen off that pace now. Are Manchester United going to pick up all 3 points here as Lise Milou snaps into a challenge, knocks it out for a throw-in again. Rangnick sat back down between a couple of his coaching staff, and doesn't seem to be a great deal of activity on that Manchester United bench. They all just sort of seem to be hoping for the best as Ronaldo flicks the ball onto Fred. Great first touch from him, finds Bruno Fernandes, challenged by McLean, who wins the ball back and now knocks it forward, looking for the run here of Sargent. Sargent trying to get between defenders. Poor challenge from Bailly. Still Sargent, now to back heel it, but Bailly got back in and recovered. Now he's overplayed it, edge of the box, gives it away to Milou. Milou trying to slide it through. Good challenge by Maguire, and Fred now knocks it forward to Bruno Fernandes, finding Greenwood near the halfway line. Norwich are pressing more than Manchester United at the moment. They're pushing Manchester United back towards their own goal and forcing a back pass to De Gea, who knocks it off coolly to Maguire. Back to De Gea again, who plays a casual ball out to the left-hand side, just over Tellez's head. And Manchester United being forced into these mistakes by Norwich, who've suddenly gone full court press.
Yeah, and they've got some good attacking players, Norwich. We saw that earlier in the game. I think you can maybe overlook them at times. They're certainly better attacking than they are defensively. It's just putting those chances away, isn't it? That's been their issue. They get into good positions. They're well set up under Dean Smith. So United have got to be wary. They're only ahead courtesy of a penalty in this game and a rash decision by Max Aarons. But for that, we're still at 0-0 and it's anyone's.
Yeah, Manchester United look like they're playing here with a degree of comfort, but they really aren't comfortable in this game at all. Sorensen. Side now for Aarons. Knocks it back into Lees-Malou. There's a good run for McLean into the penalty area. It's chipped over the top. Big hole in the back of the United defence. And how did he get in behind there? Bailey just let him run off him. Maguire was nowhere to be found. United trying to counter-attack here again. And Norwich win it back through Aarons. Aarons has it. Looks up. There's so many spaces. If they make forward runs from midfield, they're just not getting picked up, are they?
They're not. That was far too easy for McLean. I thought he needed to be braver and try and control it and turn. He wanted to lay it off for Pukki, who wasn't even aware of the situation. He hadn't turned to get involved in the play early enough, so it never really came about. But yeah, it was just one simple run from midfield. No one tracked him, no communication. They've got to pass those players on.
Ball up towards Cantwell, who tries to bring it down to the penalty area. He just slips as he gets. Oh, sorry, Sargent, in fact, who knocks it back into the box. Here comes a chance for Norwich. Oh, poor layoff by Pukki to McLean, and United survive again into the final 10 minutes. Now they're trying to break here with Greenwood. Challenge goes in on him by Kabak. He's not won the ball, but he's not fouled Greenwood either, as Lees-Malou picks it up and knocks it wide again. This is probably Norwich's best spell of the game. United forcing the back briefly, but Norwich have it again here. Sorensen, Gilmour. Out to the right back, Aarons, who takes a touch and looks for some movement ahead. He's got Pukki making a run in the centre. Now Sargent's moved out to the right-hand flank. Knocks it back edge of the penalty area for Lees-Malou. Threatened to put that one in with his left foot. Knocks it back to Gilmour. Laid back by Cantwell to Lees-Malou. Now it's out to the right-hand side for Sargent again. Looks to cross, puts in a dangerous ball, and it might jump into the box. And Gilmour, who slams it. Gilmour in a follow-up chance, takes a deflection and goes wide off Dallow or McTominay. But that was a chance for Gilmour again.
They're creating it well. There is absolutely no resistance to Norwich getting forward time after time. Just runs off the back of the defence into the channels. Sargent down the right-hand side this time, whips the ball in, hoping for the best. And well, the initial shot from Gilmour came off sort of midriff arm of Dallow. I don't think there's any shout for a penalty. Then the follow-up deflected behind by Bailey, and Norwich have the corner. They're clinging on United.
Well, if Norwich scored now, you wouldn't rule out a winner here. There's so much on top. Corner comes in, headed up in the air by McTominay. Tries to win the second header, gets it away. Now it's volleyed back into the penalty area, knocked away by United at the back post. All hands on deck from Manchester United. But Norwich unable to sort of promote that ball into the penalty area, and now I think they've got a throw in as Lees-Malou goes into a challenge with Bruno Fernandes. By the corner flag, it's going to be United's throw.
Yeah, he was a bit sort of relaxed there, wasn't he, as he attempted to clear the ball. I don't know if his intention was to try and play it off Lees-Malou, but almost backfired, as there was certainly a debate over which way the throw should go.
So, throw in about to be taken by Manchester United. We see Claude Makelele underneath a mask in the crowd. Of course, Chelsea's technical director probably watching Billy Gilmour very closely. There's been quite a lot of talk that Billy Gilmour or Conor Gallagher could be recalled by Chelsea midway through this season to cover the horrendous injury issues that they've got in midfield at the moment. Kovacic, Conte, Jorginho all out at the moment. So I think Makelele's having a good look at Gilmour here. How do you feel he's played?
He's done okay, I think, at times in that midfield. He always looks good under pressure, I think, Gilmour. For his age especially, he doesn't seem to panic when he's getting pressed and closed down, which is crucial in that sort of central area. And he's got forward, as we saw with that chance before.
Rashford knocks it out to Bruno Fernandes, trying to play it back to the England striker, but well intercepted by Sorensen. He finds Gilmour edge of the box, back pass to Krul. First time clearance to the halfway line, brought down by Maguire. Pukki pressing, but Maguire goes back to his keeper. De Gea waits and then delivers a ball out towards the right-hand side. Dallow brings it down, gets motoring forward, gets away from Sargent towards the edge of the box, pokes it through the defence of Kabak, but cover came in there from Giannoulis, and the clearance again from Krul. Now Bailey with a firm header on the halfway line, collected by the Norwich defence. And the Canaries still looking a solid proposition in this game as Giannoulis plays it forward. He finds Sargent making a good run over on the left. Challenge came in from McTominay. He's caught his man there. The referee seeing no free kick. It's going to be a throw-in. Comes back to Giannoulis. And now Norwich with Kabak finding Gilmour. Tough ball to take that with 2 United players around him. He did well. He's got a good first touch. Knocks it out to the right-hand side of defence now with Sorensen. Back to Kabak. United sitting off in a 4-2-2-4 formation as Ronaldo threatens to press but doesn't really get there, and it's knocked over the United midfield's head. It's going to break off Gilmour here with Bruno Fernandes trying to shrug him off, but Gilmour is strong enough. He's actually got stronger as the game's gone on, hasn't he, Billy Gilmour? I think he's looked, very much the part now in this late period of the game. Yeah,
I think he looks better in a side that wants to play on the front foot, doesn't he, rather than just sit back. He covers a lot of ground.
Well, they're going to have to get back now, though. Cantwell's trying to make up the ground to Rashford, who's got over the halfway line. He's attacking Sorensen. This is a good chance for Manchester United to seal the game. Rashford into the penalty area. He's beaten Sorensen on his left foot, puts the ball back, and it's over the bar from Ronaldo. Of all players, Ronaldo, the ball was a little bit behind him. He stabbed it into the ground and put it over the bar.
Yeah, that was exactly the issue. Too close into his feet. He couldn't quite get that full pendulum swing of the leg through it to keep it down low and hard and rifle it home. Rashford looking for the cutback, and he's just trying to adjust that left foot to make up for the loose ball from Rashford, and it ends up skewing over the bar. I mean, that would have been game, set and match, and a real hammer blow to Norwich. In truth, from a neutral point of view, I wouldn't mind it staying 1-0. It's probably going to make for a better finish.
Ball over the top here, headed on by Sargent. Bailey with the next header. McTominay's got back and hooked it away, but it's going to come back to Manchester United's penalty area. It's going out for a throw to the Canaries, who take it quickly, standing in an offside position, but not from a throw-in. There was ball into the penalty area. It's easy take there for De Gea. In fact, it might have even gone out for a goal kick before he clutched it. We're seeing shots now. Grant Hanley, who looks like he's got his arm or his shoulder in a sling there on the sideline. The Scotland international went off very early on in this game after a accidental collision with Ronaldo.
Just trying to work out if that was a towel or a dressing gown he had on underneath the coat. It looked very comfortable there.
Well, rain is coming down, and it has been throughout this game, really, so towels needed on the touchline as the ball's flicked on by Ronaldo. Aarons picks it up, knocks it back to Krul. Ronaldo trying to close him down. Krul just did enough to knock it back to Aarons, played down the line to Cantwell. Then in field, United have won it back, though. Tellez pressed. Fred does well, gets away from Cantwell, slips it through here to Bruno Fernandes, who tries a shot on the turn, and it's in the side netting. He snatched at it a bit, didn't quite connect as well as he might, and it was wide.
Yeah, had to go through the motions quickly there once it arrives at his feet from Fred. First touch on the turn, and then try and follow through with the same sort of motion. Right-footed shot into the ground, probably the right thing to do to try and catch the goalkeeper by surprise, but angle just off behind for the goal kick.
Next substitution for Manchester United is Donny van de Beek coming on for Bruno Fernandes, and van de Beek, as he comes on, suggested United going to go to a 3 in midfield. So this is a slight backward step from Ralph Rangnick to try and have what they hold, which is a 1-0 lead. One of the things Rangnick said when he first took charge is that they're conceding too many goals, and that having to score 2 goals at least a game to win is not a good thing, but a 1-0 win against Crystal Palace could be another 1-0 win in the Premier League at Carrow Road, but there's still a bit of work to do. 2 minutes plus stoppage time here, and Norwich have had their best spell of the game. They have it now with Sorensen, finds Lees Malou over the top looking for the run of Cantwell, knocked away on the volley by Maguire, straight out for a throw-in. Rangnick is pacing around, he's not feeling comfortable at all, and probably nobody on that Manchester United bench or in the team is at the moment. I think they may have another substitution ready to come on shortly as well. That'll be another time-wasting one.
I think it was Fernandes.
Oh, was it still?
Ready, yeah, three made already.
Oh, of course, yeah. This is not the Champions League, this is it? You don't get to make more than 3 substitutions at Norwich. As Fred gets a foot in. Now Rashford tries to burst down the left-hand side, trying to leave 2 Norwich defenders for dead, but they've got Black and they've blocked him off. And now Gilmour can bring it forward. Goes with a raking ball in the direction of his strikers, but Bailey's there to head it back into midfield. United slow to get there. Ronaldo falling over as he challenges. He's hurt his back there, Ronaldo, as he goes down, and the referee will allow play on because it's not a head injury, but Ronaldo sort of clutching the small of his back as he went over Billy Gilmour, who plays the ball forward. It's going to go all the way through to De Gea, Now United can put this ball out if they want to allow Ronaldo some treatment. I think he's going to be all right, though, isn't he?
Yeah, he's going to be fine. I think no foul there. Gilmour isn't looking at Ronaldo. Ronaldo comes from the back of Gilmour and sort of tries to jump over the top and win the header. He ends up going over the shoulders of the small Scotsman and lands awkwardly. It's going to be a sore one, like the coccyx, isn't it, that he's landed on there. So might be a little bit tight and sore tomorrow, but he'll be fine for the final moments of this one.
Remarkable, isn't it, how few injuries, serious injuries, Cristiano Ronaldo's had in his career. He just seems to know how to avoid them, really, as he tries to get on the ball here from Rashford's pass and then goes over a challenge from Sorensen. He's in the wars here, Ronaldo. He's gone down again. But this could be just a case of trying to waste a bit more time. 90 minutes up then. We're going to see how much stoppage time is to be played at Carrow Road now, as the Canaries have the ball back in their own half with Gilmour. 5 minutes of stoppage time. Still chance here for Norwich to get a goal and get a result here as the ball's played into the edge of the penalty area. Van der Beek defends this one out for a throw-in. Taken quickly by Norwich. Goes back to Gilmour. He's at the heart of everything now, trying to link up here with Cantwell inside the penalty area. Cantwell, good change of feet, but he's lost that one on the edge of the box. Now United, referee spotted a foul there by McTominay on Cantwell, and Norwich have a free kick edge of the box.
It took a moment to think about that one, Darren England. Don't know whether he was trying to see if there was some advantage to come from it, but it was really good work from Cantwell, edge of the box. He was stumbling a little bit, and actually there's no foul there whatsoever. He was stumbling, he was off balance and just continued to fall over. So if they score from this, it's controversial.
Well, it is a good position for a free kick for Norwich, and Gilmour is over it, so Manchester United could be punished here. United holding a line just a few yards inside the penalty area. Gilmour steps up, crosses in, it's flicked on. There's a chance at the far post, It's saved by De Gea. United just scrape it away. It was flicked on by their own player. I think Donny van der Beek should have cleared that one, but he flicked it on. And there was a chance at the far post, which De Gea has bailed him out.
Yeah, highlighted his save earlier on as potentially the one that might have just kept them in this game.
He's offside.
Yeah, he is, isn't he, at the far post. Just wondering if that flick puts him onside at all, but either way it ended up going behind, so it doesn't matter too much. But it still take nothing away from the save from De Gea. This time more comfortable, I think. Was able to fall down and save it with two hands, and see there, he's been awarded man of the match. You can understand why.
Yeah, I don't think there'll be too many arguing with that one, to be honest. The quality of the saves he made in both halves, really, have preserved Manchester United's... well, at the time that he made those saves, I think it was still 0-0, wasn't it? So he's preserved the parity. But now United lead with 3 minutes of stoppage time to go, as Norwich pick it up halfway line. McLean knocks it out to Aarons, who delivers down the line to Cantwell. Struggles to get in the game, really, Cantwell, and he's challenged there, and he's again won a free kick. Challenge from the side. I thought he got the ball again, but Cantwell's getting a few decisions here. Yeah,
he knows how to buy a free kick, doesn't he, Cantwell? Very clever in the way that he shapes his body and sort of tries to draw it. Jack Grealish type in a way that he shows the ball but tries to then drag it away. But yeah, another good chance for Norwich to put a ball in.
Yeah, and this one's pumped in by Gilmour towards the far post. Heads go up and it's away by Maguire. Drops on the edge of the box. McLean with a tempting cross shot comes off Tellers' legs and goes out for a Norwich throw. 2 minutes of stoppage time to go. Again, they throw to Cantwell, who's going to try and win another free kick with some nifty footwork. He's beaten one man but lost it to the second, and now United break here with Greenwood. He's got Rashford up. Bass was behind Rashford. Greenwood trying to make an angle for him, running across his body. Rashford still has it, running to the centre, dumps it off towards Greenwood. He's got no chance of doing anything with that ball towards a corner flag and just recycles it back to Fred. United now thinking more of the corner flag than going for goal here, as Fred is darting. He's been brought down edge of the box. It's going to be a free kick right on the edge. Silly challenge from Lees Malou. Could so easily have been a penalty, but it was right on the edge, I think just outside the penalty area.
Yeah, it was good play from United. Obviously the passing maybe could have been a little bit more accurate. Yellow card looks to have come out as well here.
Yeah. Well, it's only one game, isn't it? But you don't see Manchester United as a top four team on this performance, do you? They've come to the bottom team in the Premier League, a team who have been bereft for most of this season, and they're scrambling to get a 1-0 win.
Yeah, I mean, they haven't looked like a top four team all season to me. I don't think 2 games in after Ralph Rangnick, that's going to change completely. Maybe into the new year we might see more of an improvement. But I mean, it's back-to-back wins, isn't it? Back-to-back clean sheets in the league. It is at least starting to add those points.
Yeah. Rashford to take the free kick then. United have got 3 players in the penalty area. There's a 3-man wall for Norwich who are bouncing up down on the balls of the feet. Referee's not blown his whistle yet. Now Rashford steps up, takes it, hits it into the wall. Cleared at the far post off the deflection. McTominay nods it down to Fred, who pings it out to Greenwood. One-on-one here with Giannoulis. He might take him on. He goes into the penalty area, still going. Greenwood, he's just managed to skip round. I'm not sure what the referee's given there, to be honest. Is he giving handball?
He's given a free kick against United, but I'm not sure what the reason is. Whether he thinks he's pushed the Norwich player to the floor, I don't know.
I just think maybe the ball must have bobbled up and hit him on the arm or something. Anyway, we are in the last few seconds of the game. Norwich hit it long. It comes off one of the players trying to flick it on. And it goes out for a throw into Manchester United. But as you say, possible building blocks here for Ralph Rangnick. It's not been anything like the standard of performance that Manchester United would want.